Send him home.
Send him home. I just send him home. It's time to go home there, Ball.
Son of a bitch, Ball. Why didn't you just go home? That's your home! Are you too good for your home? Answer me! Suck my white ass, Ball!
The price is wrong, bitch.
Good morning, fellow humans. Once again, I'm back for another fucking episode. Sit back. I hope you're fucking ready. I don't know exactly what this one's gonna be, so we're all in for a fucking surprise here. Sit back, relax. Let's get this one going.
Who is that nasty?
Zach will kill you and fuck your bitch.
People pay $1 million for one drop of my sperm.
Hey, what's going on? What the fuck is really up? What's wrong with you guys? What's wrong? I'm just kidding. I know. You're all beautiful, and I love all of you. So, with that being said, I don't know exactly what I'm gonna talk about today. I got a pretty good idea, actually. But there's some weird stuff. Like, going on in the world right now. It's, sorry, I'm a little distracted by my coffee right now. Like Jimmy Kimmel taking a break. I mean, he could just be taking a break, you know, but Ellen's about to be canceled. Tom Hanks, became a Greek citizen. Piers Morgan is also taking a break. That Chrissy Teigen made her Twitter private, and she deleted over 60,000 tweets and blocked over 1 million fucking people, which is if you don't know who Chrissy Teigen is, you need to go do a little bit of research into that. It's like she was kind of leaving breadcrumbs almost for people to catch her in her little, pedophilia thing. Jenna Jameson, she went public about the time that she was raped and conditioned, and how she was like trafficked and stuff in Hollywood when she was a kid coming up. And Avicii committing suicide days after releasing that video for a better day. And in there it was highlighting all the trafficking and stuff. Anthony Bourdain was fucking murdered the same way Chris Cornell and Chester Bennington were, after they were all working on that document, The Silent Children. It's just a little bit of a fucking weird coincidence. And all those symbolic messages in the music video for Justin Bieber's Yummy basically just confirmed that he was a victim of Pizzagate as a child. And yeah, dude, Epstein getting fucking whacked in prison. Like, we all know, obviously, it's because that motherfucker knew too much. He knew everything on everybody, or had so much dirt on all these people. And, yeah, man, I don't know. I don't want to talk about it too much, but Hollywood is silent. Nobody's saying anything. The media is silent. Nobody's saying anything. But you look all over the news, and COVID-19, 99% plus fucking survival rating, and it's talked about on everything on TV. Every major news channel, every major media outlet is just cramming your face with COVID-19 24/7. Doctors that come out with different views are being like silenced and made fun of and completely blocked on social media. And it's when doctors and stuff like that are being censored because they go against the scary narrative of the big COVID-19, you know, when they come out and say, well, it's really not that big of a deal at all. We literally would have never noticed if nobody told us, you know. And some people will go, because there's a lot of people arguing like coronavirus is a hoax, you know, and all this other shit. And then people go, oh, well, if coronavirus is a hoax, how did I get it? Okay, that's your argument. So let me ask you, if you never heard about coronavirus or COVID-19, if you've never heard about it and it wasn't all over the news and we weren't in this state of weirdness that we're in right now, and you got sick, what would you think you had? Would you go doing a bunch of research and go, oh, look, I have COVID-19, and if we weren't in this situation, we've had COVID and SARS and stuff. Like, it's not new. But the way that it is now, I guess it's, you know, a little bit different. But if it wasn't being blasted all over the TV, if you weren't being scared to death, and, you know, people saying they've had it, so it's not a hoax. But if you've never heard about it and you got the same sickness, what would you think you had? You would think you just had the flu and it was a normal flu season and nothing would change. That's 100% legit. Like, if we never heard about it, nothing would be the way it is. You know, it would just be another year. People get sick. People die from getting sick. People have weak immune systems, you know. I don't know. I'm a little freaked out about why this is all over my television 24/7. Anyway, I'm not going to talk about this. I'm getting frustrated, guys. I don't know. I've been in many arguments that I didn't want to be in over COVID-19 and all this dumb ass shit that I don't even want to fucking talk about right now. You can tell I'm super uninterested in talking about this. I just needed to put some stuff out there to let people know I notice everything that's going on. You know, I do a lot of research. I go down rabbit holes and I probably shouldn't, you know, but whatever, especially being a paranoid person that I already am. I definitely shouldn't be jumping down these rabbit holes. But anyway, give me some fucking coffee. Okay, so way back in the day. Shit, how many? See, I was like 11 or 12, right? So my mom lived in this duplex, like pretty deep out there in the woods. It was just a single duplex, only two people, or only, you know, two halves, whatever I'm trying to say, and a dope ass carport, it was a little strange now, because every time I see duplexes, they're usually in like groups, you know, and there'll be like 4 or 5 buildings, you know, so there will be like 8 or 10 actual like apartments or homes or whatever. So this was just one duplex, way the fuck out there off a dirt road, and that's probably one of the best places my mom ever got when I was a child, because there was so much room to run. She had a 3-wheeler, which I think are absolutely fun, but they are absolutely also dangerous. You're missing an entire wheel on the front. You know, you only have one wheel, and going around corners, that thing is not very balanced, and you fucking flip and you roll, and it's a good time, you know. So she lived pretty far out there, and I would go out there with my brother during the summer, and we would stay out there for like 2 weeks at a time. And man, it's really bothering me the way I started this podcast. Oh, well, it's not a big deal. You guys are going to think I'm crazy. Please don't think I'm crazy. Anyway, so we would go and spend time out there like 2 weeks at a time. And the neighbors were kind of chill. They were pretty big hippies, so just a lot of pot smoking and stuff. And a lot of tapestry. Like a lot of tapestry. Crazy. And they had this son named Lucas. They also had a daughter that was just fucking, my God. I think it was around that time I knew that I was really into older women. I mean, she wasn't much older than me. I think she was like 15, 16 at the time, something like that. I was like 11 or 12. And Lucas was 14. And I met him when they moved in, and we became friends like instantly. You know, we were into all the same stuff, the same music, just running around, causing havoc in the woods and just smoking moss. I remember this one time we were out in the woods just fucking around, and we were smoking cigarettes, and we had this Gatorade bottle, and Lucas was talking some bullshit about how he got high off smoking moss. And I was like, dude, you're absolutely tripping, because, you know, I know what weed is at this point in my life, and I've smoked a lot even as a child. So I was like, you're fucking crazy. So he was like, no, dude, I'm being serious. And we walk over to this log that has a bunch of moss growing on it, and we have a Gatorade bottle. We drank the rest of the Gatorade, and we use a lighter to kind of burn a hole in the side of it so that we could like use it as like a little pipe. Which, just stupid. We took a grip of that moss, like a big fat pinch. It was all dry and dusty. Put it over the hole and just smoked it off plastic. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck were we thinking? And we got really big hits. Like the smoke that would build up in that Gatorade bottle is something that the stoner community would call milky bong hits. They were definitely milky. They were so thick. The smoke was so thick it was almost yellow. We'd take big fat hits of this moss. And I don't know, man. I think I just got really lightheaded, and it was kind of like that thing where you can psych yourself out, you know. We were taking big bong hits of moss. They're not even. It wasn't even bong hits. It was just a hole burnt in the side of a Gatorade bottle. Just hella kid shit. And Lucas was like, "Man, I'm getting so high. I'm getting so high." And I was like, "Bro, I think you're just lightheaded because we're smoking moss, taking these giant hits, you know, stopping all this oxygen from going to our brains while we're also smoking plastic. I don't think we're high. I think we're getting dumb." So yeah, we did a lot of dumb shit like that. And my mom worked at a golf course. She was a waitress and / bartender at this really high end. It wasn't just a golf course. It was like a country club. You know, prestigious older men that just want to spend a lot of their pension money on whatever, I guess. And we used to go out there all the time and bother my mom. And it was perfect because across the dirt road that we lived off of was an entrance to the woods where a lot of people would come and park. There was a little gate. You just come and park, unload your dirt bikes, your quads, or whatever, go ride off into the trails and do your thing. So we had this entrance right across the road from the duplex, and you could walk straight down this little dirt kind of trail path that went through the woods. And it was like 6 miles or something like that through the woods. And you could get to the 18th green on the golf course. You walk far enough, you'll just pop out on the 18th green and you're good. And we used to do that all the time. We would walk through the woods and go to the golf course, and we'd end up on the 18th. And that, I mean, it was a big fucking golf course. So even after we got there, we'd still have, 18 fucking holes to walk through. And man, we used to cause so much fucking trouble at that place. I remember we would hang out on the 18th green, because if anybody that worked there that wanted to come try to kick us out, we could see them coming, and we were already on the 18th, so all we had to do was just jump into the woods real quick and dip out. Nobody would find us. We used to hang out on the 18th hole, and I can imagine just being a middle-aged man. You're about to finish your game, and you get to the 18th hole, and there's just like this group of punk kids, hanging out, making things kind of awkward for you. And we're not going away. It's not like I gave them any respect or any privacy. We would, get in their business. Like, hey, what are you doing? Can we watch you? Can I see one of your golf clubs? And just take it out of their caddy and fucking hit shit around and just be annoying kids. And I remember this time we were hanging out, and we found a bunch of gardener snakes that were just like roaming around the golf course. And we got to the 18th, and we all had like a couple gardener snakes that we were like just twirling around. And we would throw them up in the air and watch them hit the ground and just bounce. And then we would like have fights with them. And then, we would smack each other with them, and, run around and choke each other with them with a snake, bro. So fucked up. And I remember we got a few complaints before. And my mom would get home, and she'd be like, oh, fucking, God damn it, I heard that there was some fucking kids on the golf course fucking around. That better not have been you guys. I'll beat your ass and shit like that. And, we were always like, no, Mom, whenever we go, when we go, because there would be times that we would just go out there and visit with my mom, and she would hook us up with a bunch of food. Like, I guess since she worked there, we got free food. I don't know, but I know my mom didn't have the money to pay for all that shit. So we would get like legit plates of fat ass foods, like club sandwiches, big fucking waffle fries or steak fries, and just a really awesome time. Like, those were some of the best summers that I ever had. And I remember this one day, me, Lucas, and my brother Quentin woke up really early, and we were like, let's go to the golf course and just fuck around. Hang on. Man, nicotine addiction is a bitch. Anyway, we were like, let's go and have some fun. So we go to the golf course, and it's a little early in the morning, so there's not really a lot of people there. There's some people in and out, golf carts driving back and forth. And we get to the side of this building of the country club, and they have all these golf carts just lined up. And there was like 3 rows of them, and each row had like 7 or 8 carts. So there was quite a bit. And me, Lucas, and Quentin all hopped in our own cart. And they kind of had like a little rope through the wheels, so you couldn't exactly just drive off. And I remember Lucas got in his first, and he tried to take off. He slammed on that gas so hard, because they just leave the keys in them, so anybody can just kind of hop in and drive. Lucas hopped in his and hit the gas so fucking hard, and that rope just stopped him, and he hit that steering wheel with his face and nose so fucking hard. And it was funny because we were high. We were all stoned. We had smoked some weed before we got there. And being that young and smoking weed, just, you get the giggles, you get the munchies. Everything is fucking so hilarious. And me and my brother are just standing there watching Lucas smack his face on the steering wheel, and it was the best fucking thing ever. And we eventually figured out we had to take out the rope, and so we all three had a golf cart. Eventually we got them all untied, and we all three had a golf cart. And there's paths and stuff on the golf course that you can take, to drive on. And we were just driving, just mobbing, going like as fast as we could down these paths. It's early in the morning, so nobody's really around. And then, we'd pass a couple holes where people would be golfing, and they just see a gang of kids, in golf carts mobbing around. They're like, this is not what I pay $1,200 a month for. So, someone had to snitch, because before long, we were getting chased. We were getting chased down by like golf cart police, right? Or golf course police. And these dudes were in like blacked out golf carts, looking like some rent-a-cop ass pussy golf cart police, dude. And I remember laughing so hard because I was so high, and I was in this golf cart being chased by these like golf course cops. And Lucas is in front of me, I'm in the middle, and my little brother's behind. And which is kind of fucked up now that I think about it. We put the youngest child in the back, like, here, take him first. Anyway, we are trying to evade them, and we're just like dipping, and we get to this point, because they're quite a ways behind us. They're trying to catch up with us. And we get to this one point in the golf course where there's a pretty steep hill. And we all stop at like the base of this tree. And we're like, fuck, we should just get out and leave the golf carts here so, we don't get in too much trouble. And me and Lucas were thinking about it for a second. We were like, fuck that, let's just take one. You know what I mean? And me and Quentin hopped out of our carts. We got in Lucas's cart, and we just took off. And we kept hitting these corners so fast that like the wheels would go up, and we'd be mobbing around this corner on two wheels. And man, this is such a fun thing to remember, because I used to have such a good fucking time with my brother and Lucas. And anyway, we get to like the 16th hole, I think, something like that, pretty close to the end. And we're stopped at this like little peak. It's like a little almost like a little slanted hill that goes up and around a tree. And we're stopped right at the top of it, because we got a pretty good view of what's around us. And we see the two rent-a-cops hauling ass straight towards us, and they're fucking meep, 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 honking their horns. They're like, hey, get back here, hey. And it's just so funny, because we were so high and we were children, and we hop back in like it's an episode of Cops, like we're in a pursuit. And we hop back in, and we mob straight towards the 18th. Like Lucas and me and Quentin, we all knew exactly where we were trying to get to. We were trying to get to the entrance and the exit of where we come and go when we come and go from the golf course to the woods. And those rent-a-cops got pretty close. They caught up pretty close. Like I'd say, I don't know, 50 yards. And we get to the 18th hole, and we hop off the little sidewalk path thing, the little cement path. And we're mobbing through the grass, and there's a little dew on the grass, so it's a little slick. We're sliding back and forth, making like these muddy, kind of, not really muddy, but like imprinted dirt tracks, like kind of tearing up the grass, which is, a big fucking no-no at a golf course, especially a country club. And we fucking hit the entrance of the woods so fucking hard. I don't know how fast those things go, but we were all full throttle all the way to the fucking floor with the pedal. And we hit the woods, because there was like a little trail, a little opening that we had made, over the months. just walking through there so much, we, tore down a bunch of shit so that we could, make a clear path. And it was only about, I don't know, maybe 6 feet wide. So it was like a real narrow fit with that cart. And we're going and we're going and we're going and we're going. And we get so close, we just zoom right into the fucking woods. And it's like a Dukes of Hazzard style. We're like going through this rough patch of woods. We're hitting tree stumps. We're going over roots and fucking like twigs and branches and all this shit scraping us and hitting us. And then we come out, pow, kind of jump the ditch, boom, land on this dirt road, the one that we walk every time. It's like a really small, narrow dirt road. It's meant for quads and dirt bikes. And we get out on the dirt road, boom, dust clouds everywhere. We're scraping around, spinning the tires, trying to turn, and we get going down the road, and we realize we're good. We got away. We stole a fucking golf cart, and we go down the road a ways. We just want to make sure that they don't, find us. So we go, and we finally get to a point where we think we're safe, and we're in the clear, and we kind of just stop and we assess the situation. Like, we're like laughing like so hard that we're all crying, laughing, and like we're like, I can't believe we just stole a golf cart. We're all super stoned, and it was such an amazing feeling because it was, kind of early in the morning, so the sun was like, I don't know, I think it was like 8 o'clock in the morning maybe. So the sun was like coming through the trees all nice and orange, and it was just an amazing time, even though we had just done something illegal. And we started to think about it, and I was like, fuck, that's where my mom works. And we were like, man, what if somebody saw us? What if somebody recognizes us? What are we gonna do? I was like, fuck, man. So we decided that we had to eventually take the cart back. And we wanted to get, we wanted to make what we just did worth it. So we were like, fuck it, we'll keep it for a little while. And then we'll take it back. We'll just like drive it onto the course, put it on a hole, and then just leave it there. Someone will find it eventually. And so we were hitting these dirt bike and quad trails. We were like going over jumps, doing donuts, trying to make this time worth it. We're all taking turns driving and jumping. And I remember we got to this one jump. It was like specific for people to obviously jump and try to get some air. And it was just like a straightaway, a jump, and a landing, and then another straightaway. And we sat there for probably 45 minutes, just taking turns jumping that thing like 5-6 feet in the air, slamming it down. There was a few times that we did roll it. We landed on our side and we had to pick it back up, and that was a fucking struggle. As some scrawny kids. I mean, Lucas was a lot bigger than me at the time, but still, it was pretty fucking difficult. Oh no, coffee on my lap. Anyway, so we're jumping this quad, having a really fun time. And I guess none of us realized that these golf carts are electric. They don't run on gas, because I don't remember who mentioned something, but someone was like, man, we're going to have to get gas for this thing eventually. And we were like, yeah, wait, that's a good, what are we going to do? How are we going to get gas? Let's find the gas cap. And we start looking for where we're going to put gas, because, we have a 3-wheeler back home. So we got a little bit of gas we could put in it. And, we can't find a gas cap anywhere. We were like, what the shit? Where are we supposed to put the gas? And then my brother's looking behind the seat, and he's like, pulls out this cord, and we just think it's an extension cord at first, but it's the motherfucking plug for the thing. And then we were like, oh shit, it's electric. And then we started to kind of argue about it because it was like slowing down. It wasn't as powerful and it wasn't as fun anymore. And we were quite a ways from the golf course. We were like, I don't know, a mile or two in the woods just fucking around. And this thing wasn't going to make it back. Like, there wasn't enough battery for us to drive it back and just leave it on the 18th at the very least. So we kind of started to get a little worried, started to get a little paranoid and scared, and we started to kind of argue with each other a little bit about what we need to do. And me and Lucas wanted to test something out to see if we could push it, because there was quite a few hills that we had to go up and down to get where we were. And we tried pushing this fucking thing in like the dirt with loose rocks and shit like that. Was not happening. That thing weighed so fucking much to me when I was, that little. It's probably nothing now, but it was such a ridiculous task that we were like, there's no fucking way we can do this. So we were like, fuck it, we're just gonna have to leave it here and hopefully nobody finds it. So we drive it to the end of this little trail. It's like a little let out for a trail that leads you right back to the main dirt road. And we get to the end of this trail and there's a lot of brush at the end, and a lot of bush, a lot of brush, and we drive the golf cart straight into the brush and the bush, and then we just surround it with foliage. We just take big branches, lay it on there, try to cover it as good as we can, and camouflage it so nobody can find it. And that was our little secret thing. We had a golf cart in the woods that if we could figure out how to charge, we could come back and drive that thing all the time. But because we were like, well, what if we just get enough extension cords? We could just plug it in out here and then nobody will know. And I was like, yeah, but somebody will notice, miles of extension cord fucking, just draped through the woods. And I was like, how would we even get that many extension cords? Like, I don't think they make them that big, so we're gonna need a couple hundred of those fucking things. So we went home that night. It was actually like later in the afternoon, probably 3 or 4 in the afternoon, after we got done fucking around and after we got done hiding the golf cart. We're chilling at home. Lucas went to his house. Me and Quentin went to my mom's, and we're just chilling. My mom gets back from work. And she's like, hey guys, hey buddies, love you, all this other shit. And we were like waiting for her to be like, where the fuck is the golf cart? And she never said a word about it. She never mentioned it. She never said anything about it. So we waited, a few hours and ate dinner. And we waited to see if she was going to say anything about it. She never did. We went over to Lucas's to smoke some cigarettes, and we told him, I was like, dude, my mom doesn't even know. And we were so fucking happy because on that walk back, we were so nervous and so scared that my mom was going to beat all of our asses because my mom's crazy and she'll fuck you up. So yeah, and man, it was just such a great time, and I didn't really do it justice with the way that I told it, but I have those images in my head so vividly, and I'm so happy that I remembered this because I didn't remember it until this morning when I was on my jog. So I'm really fucking happy I remember that memory. And I never I lost contact with Lucas after my mom moved out of the duplex. And I wish I would have found him sometime. I tried to find him back in the MySpace days, and I thought I found him once, but I didn't exactly know his last name, so it was really hard to know who I was looking for. But man, me and that kid had a lot of good times. Like, he had this friend named Taylor Fudge, and he lived about 20 miles away. And you can get to where Taylor lived just by walking down this dirt road. It was like I don't know what you'd call it, because right up the street, or right up the dirt road from my mom's, was this giant, like, power station, like giant towers with power lines going everywhere and stuff like that. So these dirt roads were mainly, you know, for like utility vehicles and shit like that, that worked on stuff like that. So we could walk that kind of dirt road, and we walked it one day for fucking miles to get to his house. 20 miles there, 20 miles back. And I have a great story about Taylor Fudge, myself, and Lucas. And maybe that will be on the next episode, because this one's running into 37 fucking minutes. So anyway, I know I didn't do this story justice. I'm a little out of it this morning, but what the fuck ever. I'm a little exhausted also. I had a pretty intense jog this morning, so anyway, I hope you guys were able to put some kind of image in your head of my memory, and hopefully you got some type of enjoyment from it, because that's the whole purpose with this podcast, right? Or just podcasts in general, is to entertain or inform people. So hopefully I did one of those things. Anyway, I'm gonna hop up off of here. If you listen to this all the way through, I absolutely respect and love the fuck out of you guys. Go tell your mom and your dad how much you appreciate them for everything they did for you as a child, because I feel like a lot of shit like that goes unsaid, and you end up with people with a lot of regrets when their parents die. So make sure you tell your mom, you tell your dad, you tell whoever, your grandma, grandpa, auntie, uncle, brother, sister, cousin, it don't fucking matter. Go tell them that you love them and how much you appreciate them for being in your life. Until next time, guys, you already know what the fuck it is. Peace the fuck out.